During the early 60s, the most popular Sri Lankan band was the Jetliners. It's with great pleasure I like to introduce the lead singer of the band, Mr. Ishan Bahar, who compiled a book titled A Heritage of Song. Good morning and welcome to our program.
Good morning, Derek. Lovely to be here.
Ishan, first of all, what was the reason for you to compile this book?
Well, the reason, actually the seed was planted in July last year, in 2014, when I met up with some old friends, and we had met a guy called Claude Selvaratnam in early January, and he said he was coming in December and that we would all get together and have a nice jam. So we were all thrilled, but unfortunately on the 26th of September, I got the news that Claude had passed away, and he lives in Perth. So this started me thinking and asking myself, who knows Claude? Not very many people.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also asked the question, who knows me? In 10 years' time, they will forget who Ishan Bahar was. And I thought, my gosh, this is time that I, at least got something and, got together with the musicians that I have, the love for music I have, the love of the musicians that I have, that I should do something. So I got hold of Patrick Ranasinger, who lives in Cairns. And he said, my gosh, it's a fantastic idea. And he was one of the very first persons who responded. He's not a musician, but he loves music, and he was a real Jetliner follower because we worked together at a place called Carmart in Colombo, and we became very close friends. So he was always following us everywhere we went, and when he went to Cairns, he was always in contact with me through Skype and emails. And he helped out, and he got Bill Forbes, he got Desmond Kelly, the articles coming in. And then while it was going on, I got an article put in the newspapers talking about this book. At that time, I don't think I had even a title for the book.
Yeah.
It was Down Memory Lane or something like that. And this Heritage of Song came much later. So this was going on, and I thought, okay, my gosh, let's put this article in the papers. But I had put my email address, my telephone numbers, my personal mobile numbers, but no response. So I wondering why is this? Are people not interested, or have I chosen the wrong newspaper?
Yeah.
Then I told my son, so this is what happened. He said, no, don't worry, I will upload it onto this Facebook thing.
Yeah.
So it went on Facebook, but still no response. So I was getting a little, disheartened, thinking, oh my gosh, why have I gone and put my head into this?
Yeah.
Then I contacted some of the musicians directly, and one of them was you. And you were so fast to respond, and it was going on. Then I contacted Desmond De Silva, and he was over the moon. He said, my God, this is a fantastic idea. And then by and by, with the help of you and Dallas Achilles, who was really on the ball with this whole program, he said, don't worry, I've got some 3,000 people on my mailing list. Yeah. I'll mail this story to everybody. But with all the 3,000, I was putting a deadline on the coming in of the articles. Yeah. But by September, I was getting more disheartened, because I had only about 50 people who had responded. My target was 100. Okay. So I thought, no. Then I get a long letter copied to me from young Mr. Desmond Kelly. And he says, Ishan is a sucker for punishment. And he also said, none of the musicians would even think of touching this kind of project with a mile-long barge pole. Yeah. So I thought to myself, okay, Desmond Kelly in his great old age, he's still having this fire in him. Why don't I continue? Because I'm sure there'll be nobody who will have the guts to go out on this venture. But then while it was going on, I was setting the date at different times. End of September, then still no one coming. Then end of December, still the responses were article just dribbling in. Then I said, end of February, That's it.
That's it.
I'm not going to touch anything. So we got people like Kamal coming on board, Keith Podger coming on board. I mean, they responded so beautifully. They sent their photographs, and even Keith Podger. So it was so nice. He sent me photographs of his awards and everything, and so I managed to put the whole thing into the book. So I am an artist. I'm an artist and I'm an artist. But I think I'm a better artist than an artist. I have no patience to lay out things, and also I have a wonderful son at home. His name is Mario, and he laid this book out so beautifully. I just put dump pictures all over the place and just put the text. But he said, no, Dada, look, Dada, this is going to be a once in a lifetime thing. I'm going to lay this out, and he got the pictures all done, cropped to the correct size, the text correct size. I mean, you do look at the book, you will know how much of work has gone into the book.
There's a fair bit of work.
Yeah, lot of work. 9 months of work involved in this. It's not an easy thing. So by end of April, we had finished everything, and it went into print. In the meantime, and I was looking for, who is going to pay for this printing of this is going to cost me a colossal amount of money. And I think you, Derek, you don't sleep very much in the night, do you? Your mind is always
always on the go.
Always on the go. And suddenly I get this call from you and said, Ishan, shall I sponsor the book? How can I say don't sponsor the book? So I said, yeah. I've got this, this thing in my mind about vision for the people who cannot see, and I have a thing called Sight First 2020 Vision. And then he said, okay, can you do me a logo? I said, okay, I'll do the logo, and then bang, bang, bang. And we are great logo makers. So he did this logo, and you over the moon that this came out so beautiful, and we started using this thing. And then you said, okay, right, I will pay for the printing, and it was all done. I didn't have to even go out looking for advertisements, except for the advertisement that we have on the back of the souvenir, which was sponsored by Yamaha. And it went on, and the books came out, and then we were looking for somebody to ship the book, because it was going to cost us another amount of money. And suddenly I think this man who had died 3 years ago reached out from the grave. Somebody said I had done some good to somebody, and he said, and to see that guy's company is down the same street that I live. Right? And so I went across there, and then Derek said, look, go and meet so and so, and I went and met him. And everything was go from the word that Derek got on this thing. It was just go. And I think your wife and my wife would have had little concerns. You were talking to me at 5 o'clock in the morning, but you were at 12 o'clock in the afternoon here.
Right,
and then at one stage, my children were saying, there your boyfriend is online.
Because we were communicating. So
we were so close. Everything.
Because there's so much of work involved. Not many musicians knew.
No. Even today, I mean, okay, we had the launch. Okay, the books were shipped, and I think God played a big role in this whole operation of ours, because everything just fell into place in the correct time, not in our time, but in his time. Now even the books just came 3 days before the show, and I was coming down the highway, down the little corridor at the Katunayake airport, when I get a message from him that was on Thursday, right, and saying that I've collected the books. I said, wow. I said, hallelujah. And then, I mean, we saw everything falling into place beautifully. So going back a few months, or 1 month, we had this launch in Colombo, very, very soft launch, and I had about 23 musicians who live in Sri Lanka. They all came together. I'm no fuss, no egos, no bumped up things like you say some people in Australia have egos the size of Sydney Opera House. So none of them had that kind of thing. They all came. They had a darn good time, and we got everything gratis from the organizers, from the people in that hotel at Park Street Mews in Colombo. And suddenly they said, let's sing a song. I mean, look, Derek, you're a musician. I mean, you know how much of rehearsal time you need to do a song. They just got onto the bandstand. You had Joey Lewis. He said, come on, let's do Country Roads. And they just all sang Country Roads. And on the second verse, you could hear the beautiful harmony coming, because there was this band called Flame, and they were so nicely geared up to do anything that we wanted them to do. And it was a beautiful, it started at 7 o'clock and ended at about 9:15, around 9:15. So everything, it was nice, but when I came to Melbourne, when I came to this, I know we had a lot of work to do, and you were bugging me, I was bugging you. Right? We were doing posters, we were doing this. Suddenly you said, look, I've got to do a magazine. In addition to this headache that I had for 9 months, I want this magazine done like overnight. Like, oh, don't worry, I'll get all the ads. You put the thing together. You send the material to Melbourne. I've got a printer. He'll do a fantastic job. So I said, okay, right. I have faith in you, buddy. Let's do it. So that was done. So, but when I came, I never expected. You were saying, I've sold 730 tickets, then it became 732 tickets, then it became 740 tickets, ultimately it became 750 tickets. And when I came into that hall, I think somebody overheard me saying, oh my gosh, this is too awesome, give me my ticket, I want to go back to Sri Lanka. Right, but it was such a fantastic show, Derek. I can understand the feelings that people had. You're a musician, I'm an old musician, you're a young musician. But that the amount of work that had gone into it, I don't think people even realize it now. That the amount of things that went on in your head, especially in your head, because that thing I think works like overtime the whole time. So I was being directed by you. You wanted something, I did it. Right. So that went on, but people, I was a little upset, because there were some people, some musicians who didn't want to be involved with this, although they were in the book. They wanted to be left out. And I think the clincher in this whole program was that everything was planned out so beautifully, right? And it's only when somebody gets this book in their hand that they know what we have got together and done. We have done a history book for the musicians who will have these things with them for generations and generations and generations.